Mike Moore Media, the first place to hear Rockingham County news and information.
Lance Metzler, Rockingham County Manager, is on the line. Hey, Lance, how are you? Welcome back.
Good morning, Mike. How are you this morning?
I'm doing just fine. Well, tell us what's going on around Rockingham County.
Well, I'd love to say that we have been very active in doing a lot of fun stuff, but we've been very much involved with this COVID-19 pandemic at the county. It's kind of changed the atmosphere of providing services to our constituents and citizenry out there.
Yes, it has. Well, lots of adjustments and changes and all of that. So what's the latest? What's going on at the county, and how are things looking as we plan ahead?
Well, the good thing is our positive tests have been relatively low compared to other counties that are within our region. We're at 43 now. Mm-hmm. We still have 2 hospitalized. We've got 35, which is great. 35 recovering. Unfortunately, we have 2 deaths, and then we have 4 that are asymptomatic. So, at the overall, I think that Rockingham County is doing a great job with its enforcement of the stay-at-home efforts. However, we've been at this close to 2 months, or right at 2 months, and the natives are getting restless.
Yes.
And so you've got 2 sides. They're going, okay, we need to stay at home. We need to make sure this virus is subdued. And then you got the other side that's saying, okay, enough's enough. We want to get out there. We want to get back to some normalcy out there. So there's a balance which has to be struck, and it's very difficult to be able to do that considering the governor has made his phased-in approach, which trumps basically what the counties can do.
Yeah, it's the old between a rock and a hard place, isn't it?
It is. It is. So my suggestion is to be very cautious for the folks that are getting out there. I try to get out as much as I can. Technically now the church services are allowed outside as long as there's adequate social distancing. But my family's taken the approach that we can watch it on our TV at home. So we've taken that approach to watch the services at home, and hopefully, until this pandemic or this virus is somewhat subdued, that would be the encouragement for people to take precautions so they don't get this virus.
Yeah. Well, precautions are still in place, and some people are heeding those and some people aren't, as you mentioned. But you gave those numbers, and I had that on an earlier newscast today, same numbers, and really unfortunate that early on we did have the two deaths. But you look at neighboring counties, and we're in pretty good shape, aren't we?
Well, yeah, and I think that is, there's several aspects of why we're probably in good shape like that. One is that we're a rural county, so we don't have as many people that are close in contact as you would a Guilford County or a Alamance or Forsyth. Mm-hmm. But 2, I think that we've really taken, and I think our citizenry here has really taken it to heart, is to make sure that they follow the instructions. Now, I've been to a few places where they haven't followed instructions, but other than that, for the most part, the businesses have taken progressive approaches to make sure that they do as much as possible to create that social distance with their customers.
Yeah. Well, I know we have, and it's been a long time since I've asked you this, but we have how many county employees, Lance?
We have roughly 660 employees.
Okay. How many of those are, and we've got some essential jobs, of course, that have to be done. People are out there to run the county, but how many are in county government are working at home now?
We've got close to 100 working at home. As I've said before in the past to folks, I consider all the employees in county government essential.
Yeah.
If they weren't essential, they wouldn't obviously be on the payroll. So I think that because if you look at it, so you've got finance, you've got legal, you've got information technology, you've got health and human services. They are all intertwined and linked together. So if they were out of the picture, then the services couldn't be provided. So I think that everybody is essential. Now, we do have people that are teleworking, and we're making sure that they're accountable. We're monitoring their VPN to make sure that they're on and working. And for the most part, everybody's doing what they need to be doing. What we put in place, we've also dispersed staff so they're at different locations so that we do have that social distance within the offices. So if you pull up to the county offices, we have 2 tents out there at our 2 entrances. And the cars are to pull up to the tent. They're asked a series of questions. Then they're asked to park in the parking lot. Once their appointment's ready, they'll either call on their cell phone. If they don't have a cell phone, then our staff gets information on what the vehicle looks like, and our staff goes out to the vehicle to either escort the individuals in or test them or talk to them at their vehicle. So we've got a pretty good system. And fortunately for Rockingham County, when we first heard about the pandemic a few months ago, when it first started happening, we took it very seriously. And we had staff meet on a Sunday, mid-afternoon, to develop a progressive plan to start addressing how we handle operations and services here. So I think that, I'm not trying to brag on Rockingham County, but I think we jumped out in front of it and were very progressive with the approach that we took.
Well, I'll brag on Rockingham County, because you were there right there in the beginning and did jump right on that pretty quickly, and that was great. And those tents have been in place out there a pretty good while now, haven't they? Yeah, and we're actually
I don't foresee this being a short-term thing. I think it's going to be long-term. The discussions have been that the warmer it gets, the COVID-19 virus dissipates. I've heard from a few epidemiologists that have discounted that, saying that it will be around. So for the safety of the citizens and the staff, we're going to continue to have that operation. And we're also modifying operations so that in the future, when we look at reopening, we're going to have things in place such as plexiglass at the desks to make sure that, number one, we protect our citizens, but number two, we protect our staff. Mm-hmm. And so I think this is going to be the norm, at least for the next, 3 to 4 to 6 months, maybe longer than that. But, I fear is going into the fall and this reoccurring even worse than it was now.
Yeah, that seems to be what a lot of people are thinking too, unfortunately. What is this doing to budget planning?
Well, we're in the midst of budget planning. We've got our budget presentation to give to the commissioners. Monday night, we're looking at a 10% loss in sales tax, and we're looking at probably a $500,000 hit in our motor vehicle tax. So, in various areas, and again with the board, we've got a recommended budget that we're going to ask them, look, be patient with us because it may change during the year. That 10% loss of sales tax may become 20%, or it may be just 5%. We don't know. Right now, the sales in Rockingham County is a little different than these counties like Guilford, Wake County. That we depend heavily on our sales tax, but they have even a bigger impact because they have a lot of clothing stores. They have a lot of these stores that weren't essential closed down. Fortunately for us, that was a smaller impact to us compared to what they had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and I'm hearing some of the municipalities planning for maybe a 25% hit in those taxes too.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I know it's interesting times we're in, and the county, like everyone else, adjusting and looking ahead to the future, and hopefully when we'll get beyond this. Are you hearing anything as you're I know you have weekly calls with the mayors and that type thing. Are you? What are you getting? The feedback you're getting from around the county?
It's a mixed feeling. I think that you've got some municipalities that are anxious to open back up, and some that are very adamant to stay closed until we see that we make sure that this curve is going downward instead of either staying the same or going upward.
Mm-hmm.
But I tell you, I've been in public management for 25 years. I've gone through, when I lived in Virginia, I was in a coastal community, and we went through several hurricanes. Went through, obviously, 9/11, went through the recession in 2008, and honestly, this pandemic has been the most difficult to navigate through in my career.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. How are your buddies back down in Montgomery County doing?
They're doing okay. We had Bud was one of our school resource officers down there. He was a younger fella. He passed away.
Sorry.
With the sheriff's department, and really good guy. I knew him when I was in Montgomery. He would bring up the payroll receipts up to the county at the end of the day. So it's a very unfortunate loss they had there. The community still feeling the pain from that, but they're doing okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Well, thank you for being at the helm and keeping things going. You mentioned the budget, and I know you're streaming your live stream meeting for your county commissioners meeting next Monday, the 18th, too, so we can watch that. Yeah.
Please watch that, and if you have any questions based on my recommended budget, please feel free to give me a call. Anybody out there? Also, we intend to have the public hearing at the first meeting in June. And basically that public hearing is just the hearing for that. And it would include any changes the commissioners make, and we may have additional meetings after that.
Okay. We'll keep posted. Lance, I know you're busy. Thanks for your time and speaking with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike. Have a good day.
Have a good week. Lance Metzler, Rockingham County Manager, and an update there for us, our monthly session. You can get more information on the county website, and that is myrockingham.county.nc.com.